Everyone vulnerable. East to start off. Definitely not a strong enough hand to weak 2 with. Definitely not. So they should pass. Definitely not vulnerable as well. That suit's so rubbish. So it should go pass. I think East is thinking about it, but I hope they're going to decide to pass. That's a rubbish weak 2 hand. I mean, as it happens on this hand, opening a weak 2 is probably like effective in that it disturbs north-south, who've got the majority of the points. But okay, they do elect to pass. That's the correct decision, although it probably would have worked to own 2 spades in this scenario. South's also going to pass, not quite strong enough to open. We've got 11 points, but not the rule of 20. West is also going to pass, and then it's to North. North's going to start with a heart. Yeah, so West passes. North probably going to bid a heart. Still wouldn't bid as East. When North opens a heart, I still think pass is the right bid from East. GG suits 2 poor. Vulnerability, you're vulnerable. It's not the right time to be silly. Okay, they do settle on pass in the end. They were either thinking or they didn't realise one or the other. Okay, so South bids 2 diamonds. Natural, 10 plus points, etc. North's going to bid hearts again. They're probably going to jump rebid hearts, show 16 plus with a 6-card heart suit. You could show your clubs, but what's the point when you've got a really nice 6-card heart suit? It's better to get the hearts in. 2 hearts is an underbid, so they jump 3 hearts. Good. Correct bid. And then South's going to bid 4 hearts, and that should end the bidding. South agreeing hearts with 2 opposite partners 6. And no aspirations of slam. So yeah, 4 hearts should be what South bids. Yep. And then that ends the auction, I imagine. So East is going to be on lead to 4 hearts. My favourite lead there is probably top of a sequence. I love a sequence lead. So I'd be leading 10 of spades. Alternative would be a middle diamond or a low club. Don't like a singleton trump. Leading a singleton trump is often dangerous, so I wouldn't lead a singleton trump. I'd lead the 10 of spades, basically. Okay, good. So let's have a look. So it looks to me like North-South are going to lose the ace of spades, the king of clubs, because the finesse doesn't work. Unless they can get rid of all their clubs on the winning diamonds, which they can't. So king of clubs, ace of spades, king of clubs. And they're probably going to lose the king of hearts because they can't finesse enough times. They can finesse twice, but West can hold on twice, and then the ace of hearts doesn't drop the king because of the 4-1 heart break. Anyway, North ducks from the dummy in South, and West wins the ace of spades. West is probably going to switch now, and a switch to a club looks natural. Okay. The correct card to play here is probably the queen, because it sets the jack up as a... Actually, no, because West could have the king of clubs. I don't know why they threw the jack of clubs there. They should have played a low club. The jack of clubs might be an important entry later. Anyway, club finesse loses. They duck. That's fine. And now what? So the spade comes back. They're now going to throw a club. Really here, they wanted to throw the queen of clubs and then have the 9 of clubs to the jack of clubs in South as an entry, just in case they need the entry. Because there is something coming where they're going to be able to do something known as a trump coup, which is where you ruff sufficient times so that you can then pick up an honour on side. So I'll explain that in a second. So they finesse the hearts, that's fine. Good news, the finesse works. They're going to cross back to the dummy with the diamond, and then they're going to play another heart and finesse. But unfortunately, West, given their heart length, is going to be able to duck sufficient times. So when this heart comes back, it's going to go 4 hearts. West is going to duck. They're going to play the queen or jack. They're going to finesse again. It's going to work, but then they can't play another heart from South to finesse again. So West now looks like they're in a menacing position with that King of Hearts. Now, if South had another entry to dummy, they can do what's known as a trump coup, which is when you ruff in your hand after the person who you know has the trumps. So we're North after West. So we would ruff a diamond in hand, go back to dummy, ruff the spade in hand. I know the spade is a winner, but you would ruff it. So then you get to a position where you have 2 hearts in your hand and they have 2 hearts, and then you lead something, forcing them to ruff, and you can over ruff, and you pick up the trumps that way. So they cross back to a diamond, they cash a spade. They just can't ruff sufficient times. The best play here will be to ruff the spade, go back to dummy, which they can't, ruff another one, back to dummy, ruff another one, etc. But they can't do that. So they're not going to be able to pick up the King of Hearts. I'm not entirely sure if the trump coup actually works if you've got enough entries. So you play Ace of Diamonds. They might have had to predict the trump coup working by using one of the diamond entries to ruff earlier, potentially. But this is a completely standard line of play and a completely normal contract. I'm just being greedy for potentially an 11th trick. If you play the club slightly more carefully, making the Jack of Clubs in South an entry, you might be able to ruff in hand, back to dummy, ruff in hand, back to dummy, ruff, forcing West to ruff, then you can over ruff, pick up the King of Hearts. But possibly not. Anyway, 10 tricks completely standard. Heart finesse works, but not enough hearts in dummy to finesse sufficient time. So you lose the King of Hearts, Ace of Spades, and a club.